In this video, I'm going to challenge myself to take some really crap dialogue and turn it into something dazzling. So dialogue is a pretty big insecurity for me as a writer because it requires you to open up a vein and speak from the heart and be authentic and be real. And if it sucks, it just sucks. There's no other way around it. So making this video is actually pretty scary for me, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off or do as good a job of it as I would like, but that's sort of the whole point. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you one of the worst scenes that I've ever filmed, and then we're going to dissect it and try to make it Hollywood worthy.
So,
have you been here before?
no, I haven't.
So we can just cut all of that straight away. There's a good principle that I've now learned is to arrive late and leave early. Like, just get right into it. We don't need all of that small talk. This is a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit awkward.
Look, I wanted to tell you about last Saturday. I happened to get to your place a bit early and
you saw my son, James.
the characters are just speaking the subtext aloud to each other. So they'll say, "This is awkward," instead of the scene just being awkward, and they just clearly and articulately and maturely explain all of their thoughts and feelings to each other, and it's just so difficult to watch and so frustrating.
I just got so caught up in the moment and, well, I didn't want to,
Scare me off.
Yeah.
We need the characters to be emotionally charged up, and you can see that we're actually really struggling to act in this, and it feels like this melodramatic Home and Away style scene because there's nothing there emotionally.
And this tension seems to be going away, and you do make me feel very comfortable.
He just kind of explains to her what the problem is. She immediately accepts his apology, and then happy days from there. So that's the opposite of drama. You need to have your characters fighting for something, and you need there to be strong opposition in order for them to overcome the obstacles to achieve their goals. So we're just not getting any of that in this scene, and that's why it just feels so sluggish and just really boring to watch. So there's just this thing that was just missing in the scene that was just prohibiting true and authentic conflict to emerge naturally. So the breakthrough started to happen when I, instead of trying to set up the scene differently, I started doing some character work. So one of the exercises that people sometimes recommend is doing journaling in the voice of your character, or to interview your character about different things. And so I did that. I started journaling and interviewing these characters, and then I highlighted snippets of what they were saying that stood out to me as not being my own voice, but maybe something interesting or something unique that the character was saying. The scales really fell off my eyes when I did this next exercise, where you take a phrase like "I love you" and you write how the character would say that phrase. So for Oscar, for example, instead of saying "I've got good news," he might say, "Have I got news for you? Just, man." The reason why Diane would say "I have good news" differently than Oscar is because of who she is, because of the character. So that includes how she was educated, how she was raised, where she was from, what she does for work. All these different things that writers kind of tell you about character are the reason why people talk the way they do. So it fundamentally comes down to character. If you want amazing dialogue, you need amazing characters. And then instead of just admitting everything about what went wrong on Saturday, he tiptoes around it. So he says, look, about last Saturday, I'm an asshole. And she's puts up resistance. She's like, that's not good enough. She just says, okay. And then he says, okay, why weren't you there? She's confronting him. And then instead of him saying, I want to give this another go, please give me another chance, what I did is I got him to show that he wants to give this another chance by taking an interest in the kid. So he's saying like, what's he do? Is he in school or kindy or getting ready for uni? So like this, he's not saying outright, let's give this another go. He's saying, I'm willing to show an interest in this child. And I'm just going to delete this last line, I'm glad to be here as well, because it's too much of a resolution. It's basically her saying that she's willing to give it another go as well when she's not sure about that. I just wanted to address quickly that while I really learned a lot in this video about dialogue, I feel like I'm just starting to scratch at the surface of it. And dialogue is like, the text is like the oil floating on top of the water, when really there's this deep emotional undercurrent, and it can be just a look or a single word that says so much. And I think that's the real artistry of great dialogue, and that's something that I aspire to, and I want to get that good at it. If you learnt something, or if you're just here for the ride, I encourage you to subscribe, to comment, and also I just wanted to say I didn't expect to have so many people already in my corner supporting me with this dream that I have, and I really, really appreciate that. I think we get caught up in our own head sometimes thinking that we're doing this all alone, but I had a few close friends and family and even a random stranger comment on my last video, and that felt so encouraging to know that people actually want you to do well. They want to support you, even if it feels like sometimes in our cultural moment that's not the case. So I just wanted to say thank you for that, and I wanted to extend that encouragement to anyone watching this video as well, that it's not that bad. You do have people hopefully supporting you, and if you don't, I support you. And yeah, that's everything. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.